Hello, welcome to an Esoteric Saturday video with me, Denis Poisson, for the Foolish Fish channel. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want to talk today about magic circles. Actually, magic circles, but also just circles in general. The idea of the circle in the Western magical tradition. I've been reading this book by William Kissell. It's actually more like a chap book. It's a little like a little pamphlet, right? And it's called Magic Circles in the Grimoire Tradition. William Kissell is the owner of Ouroboros Press, and he is an expert on magical circles. This little pamphlet is out of print, unfortunately, and very expensive when you can find it in the second-hand market. But there was a little passage here that really got me thinking. I really appreciated it when I picked the book up this morning once again, just to have a little read through, and I just thought I'd share this with you. A sword is used both to draw the circle on the ground as well as to draw a cross in the air just prior to performing the exorcism. By drawing the circle in the earth and a cross in the air, the union of the macrocosm and microcosm is implied, for the circle being applied to the earth places the celestial upon the terrestrial, whereas a cross, a symbol of earth, drawn in the air suggests raising the earth to the heavens. How beautiful is that? What a an astute observation. That's absolutely accurate, isn't it? There's this concept in alchemy of squaring the circle. And the idea of the square, of course, is that the square represents the earth, the four cardinal directions, and the circle representing divine perfection. Of course, we find circles throughout the Western esoteric tradition, don't we? In the Tree of Life, we have the the Sephirot, or the spheres, which are represented by circles. The flower of life is represented with a multitude of different overlapping circles, and the circle, yeah, generally represents perfection. I'm now thinking, of course, of the symbol of the sun, the circumpunct, which is a circle with a dot in the center, just like what you can find in the center of the logo of my own channel. And then naturally the square is associated with the number 4 for sides, for corners, and it makes sense that the square would be a representation of the natural world in the same way as the cross, naturally, the cross pointing to the 4 directions, and then the square actually representing those 4 directions. And that made me think, of course, of Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, which is a perfect representation of divinity and the material world coming together in a central point, which is humanity, mankind. So it makes sense, doesn't it, that in the grimoire tradition, people would draw circles on the floor in order to invoke spirits, invoke or evoke spirits. This was a symbol that you were bringing down the celestial realm to physical manifestation. Now, this naturally becomes even more potent when you add the divine names on that circle. And in whatever medieval or Renaissance grimoire you look, you'll find the divine names of the Abrahamic God written out on the circle itself, because that circle is a representation of divinity and therefore of the spiritual world. Now, we also know, of course, from the PGM that Yahweh Sabaoth, or Yahweh, or the Hebrew God, was called upon anytime the practitioner wanted a presence that would dispel any spirit. So it seems possibly a little odd that this circle would contain names that dispels all spirits, when the whole point of entering the circle is to, in fact, invite spirits to come and have a discussion with you. Well, actually, this is the point at which an image from Robert Fludd's Greater and Lesser Worlds came to mind, and yeah, it's this one. I'll actually just show it to you properly with a proper picture there on the screen. But yeah, this picture represents the four archangels in the four directions who have got the four directional spirits under their control. And you can see that Raphael over here has got Paimon under control, Gabriel has got Egin, Michael has got Oriens, and Uriel has got Amaimon under control. And each of those spirits of the directions have under their control one of the winds. In fact, more than one of the winds, three of the winds. So the wind from that cardinal direction and the wind that is just to the left and to the right of those cardinal directions. When we have a look at Robert Fludd's idea of where the winds originate, over here, then we can see that his idea is that God empowers the sun, and then in turn the sun empowers Saturn, and Saturn in turn empowers the winds. So all of this is power derivated from the power of the one God. Now you can see on this picture from Robert Fludd that the four winds are clearly supposed to be demonic in nature, certainly negative, and they send pestilences and all the bad things that can possibly happen. And then the four angels who are posted at the four corners are there to protect the individual at the center of the fortress there. So yes, quite a few different perspectives there, and I suppose depending on your affinity with the entities that you're calling forth, you'll want to protect yourself very carefully, or you'll be wanting to be simply cautious and invite the spirits to talk to you, but nevertheless be quite prepared to protect yourself if the need arises. I suppose that can make sense from the perspective of someone calling some potentially dangerous spirits to have a conversation. Obviously, your intention is originally going to be one of amicable understanding, but what happens if that amicable understanding doesn't go two ways? So yes, it's probably a good idea to have all the protections that you know of ready to hand so that you can be okay if the need arises. It goes without saying that some of the demonic spirits that are listed in some of the grimoires are very sociable, very pleasant to deal with, and even though they don't always understand boundaries, they are very easy to work with. But some of them are extremely cantankerous. Dr. Stephen Skinner likes to make the analogy of working with feral beasts. Of course, your initial intention is not going to be to subdue the beast, but what you do need to make sure of is that you are okay and that you don't come away from this experience with a mauled face. Naturally, if it's the first time you're working with a particular spirit, not only will it be a good idea to have leather gloves or the spiritual equivalent, right, with this circle of the art, but it could actually be a really bad idea not to come prepared. Do leave any thoughts you have down in the comments. Maybe you've got some information that is missing in this video, and I'm sure that the rest of the community will be very, very grateful to have that information, as long as it's shared in a respectful way, of course. And don't forget that these are matters that can bring up some deep emotions. You know, different people have got different ideas about what is okay and what is not okay to do when dealing with various spirits of various different kinds. And that needs to be okay. I don't think anyone is here to change anyone else's mind, but I would say that possibly we are all here to grow together from each other's examples. And yeah, this is kind of what these videos are really all about. I know it's not a very long video, and I'm sorry about that. And I also know that I have not done any drawing for you guys this week, and that's because I've spent the past 2 weeks trying to learn watercolors. And it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. I just can't get watercolors to work for me. So no, I haven't done much in terms of progress this week. Nothing that I can really feel comfortable showing you in any case. So I'm just going to go back to drawing and possibly taking up some inks and possibly some coloring crayons or something along those lines. I don't know. Anyway, my idea is to try and go into a direction that is working for me rather than try obstinately to continue in a direction that's not working for me. In the meantime, I'm going to wish you all a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I want to thank all of the subscribers, whether you're a subscriber through the YouTube memberships or through Patreon. I really, really deeply appreciate your support. You can see all the level 3 and level infinity members usernames scrolling up on the left side of your screen over here. And yeah, I will see you very soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Take care. Bye.